Hi guys, welcome to my video blog. Welcome to CHEK Live. Today I thought I'd take you through a body weight circuit. Good for active recovery, so for those of you that are lifting heavy weights, maybe need a little lighter day, but you don't feel like you want to fully rest, so you do what's called a active recovery workout. And that's kind of what this is for me. For some people, this is just a great level of conditioning, although some of the exercises I'm doing are a little more advanced. My Swiss ball for abs, buns, and backs and Swiss ball for athletes videos, which you can see online through the CHEK Institute, have a whole staged program. But I'm going to mix, I think I got like 5 exercises here. I do them in a little mini circuit. So just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 through the exercises, rest a minute, build yourself up to about 5 sets, and that's a real nice high density workout. It's not high intensity because it's just body weight. When you get a lot of volume in a short period of time, that's called high density training. High intensity training is when you're lifting a load you can't move very many times. So, typically 8 RM or less is progressively higher intensity. As you start going into strength endurance type training, if you're doing circuit workout like this where there's a lot of work with little rest, that's high density training. So I thought I'd just introduce you to each of the exercises before I do it, and then I'll just do a circuit through so you can get a feel for what it looks like. The first one I'm going to do is called a 1 1/4 squat. And I actually learned this a long time ago, probably 1995, from Charles Poliquin, when him and I used to hang out and do things together. And so what you do is you squat all the way down as low as you can. You got to make sure your stance is wide enough. I tell people, get your stance to where it would be if you were going to have a poop in the woods. If you can't get down into that comfortable position, you're not getting low enough. You want your thighs to drop below parallel, then you come up till your thighs are about parallel, drop down again, come up. It's good to go up on your toes because it fires your balance centers, so it adds more neural activity to the workout. So in actual practice, the 1 1/4 squat looks like this, all the way down as low as you can comfortably go. Now if you've got a healthy back, you don't have any disc injuries, you don't have to worry about holding your lordosis. This is functional training. It's actually good to develop strength in the ligaments, but if you've got any disc symptoms or pain down your leg or in your back, you don't want to do this rounding your back, okay? But I'm free of that. So we'll go all the way down, come back up, all the way down, up to the toes, that's 1 rep. All the way down, up, down, up, 2 reps. The next one we'll do is the Swiss ball drop and recover. And this one I developed years and years ago for combat athletes, wrestlers, rugby players, and for people that needed to develop more extensor strength, rotation power, and coordination. So the way you do this is you get on the Swiss ball, slide down the ball, get the ball positioned so it's kind of resting in your armpit. The opposite arm drops to the ground. Then as you accelerate up, you want to pick your hips up and go right up onto the ball, drop, and recover. Drop, recover. So the recover means an athlete getting up quickly off the ground, like a rugby player that got knocked down, or somebody in combat sports like martial arts need to get up quick. So we're dropping and recovering. Then you roll to the other side and drop. I like to go till my hand or my arm touches the ground and up, and it's a quick movement. And you're pulling back with this arm as you push up with that arm. That uses a principle called reciprocity. So just remember the rule, pull to push and push to pull. So If I'm pulling with this arm, I'm pushing with that. If I'm pulling with this, pushing with that, that brings the torque into the spine and puts less leverage on the spine. And it's really a good functional movement. Then we're going to go do some rock climber chin-ups. Now I have 3 different sizes of chin-up bars. Obviously the fatter the handle, the harder it is. So I'll just go for the medium size. I'm going to do a rock climber chin-up. They're not easy to do, so if you want to try this circuit and it's too hard for you to do, then just do a standard chin-up. Pull-up is reverse grip, chin-up is that. There's a lot of confusion about that, but pulling is generally an extension movement. So when your arm's in the reverse grip position, that's extension. When you're in the prone grip, you're bringing your chin up to the bar, you're opening your chest. It's more scapular adduction. So that's just my take on it, but there are people that have those names reversed. As long as you know what you're doing, it doesn't matter. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump up on the handles, and I'm going to pull and traverse across and touch my head to my hand. So it's almost a single arm chin up, and it does give you good training to get you strong enough to do single arm chin ups. If you progress, and then you can start adding weight to your feet, holding a dumbbell. And then as you get stronger, you'll get to the point where eventually you can actually do single arm chin up. So I'm going to jump up. This is a high machine I built for working with basketball players and volleyball players and people like that. So it's a nice big jump for a little 5'8" guy. Okay, so we'll come here, up, touch, down, up and across, touch, touch. Okay, so that's the rock climber chin up. Then we're going to do an exercise that's very good for balance development, coordination development, and gives you really good deep training in the lunge. So when I work with athletes, particularly athletes like tennis players or hockey players that have to do a lot of deep lunging, for example, me lifting rocks, I'm picking heavy stuff up right off the ground, so I got to get real low. This exercise allows you to get nice and deep, but because you're in body weight, you start getting some base conditioning, training the motor patterns, and the body gets adaptation in the connective tissues. Then you can start building it up over time. There's been times in my life where I was doing these with 100-pound dumbbells in each hand, but I'm not nearly as willing to push myself at the tender age of almost 61 here next month. So you get your toes on the ball. You have to play around to get the right balance. As you go down, you want to basically end up so your knee is on the ground. Another way to do it is just start down here, put your knee on the ground, then from here you're going to press up. Now you want to use the trailing leg as well. You don't want to just use the front leg. In other words, as you come up, use the strength in this leg to help this leg. You go all the way down till your knee touches the ground or close to it, and up. Then you switch legs. Down. Get your positioning just right. Come up and down and up. And the ball will wander. That's part of what makes the exercise so good, is because it challenges your balance. And then the last one's pretty advanced for a lot of people. It's basically sometimes called a Swan push-up. We used to do these a lot in martial arts, called a Bruce Lee push-up. They're really the same thing. I modified it to be done on a Swiss ball, which makes it even harder. So what you do is you get your feet up on the ball, then you go down and let your back completely sag, and from here you're going to reverse that movement till your nose is here, do a pike, come straight to the floor, let your nose run along the floor till you're back into the arch, and then come back to a pike, and then straight down to an arch. And you repeat that as many times as you can with good form. So you're coupling a push movement with a bend movement in my primal pattern system. You're going to get phenomenal core conditioning. You're going to get great push-up training or pushing training. And you've got a balance component as well. So it's what we call a neurologically rich exercise. Typically I do 10 reps a set, but it depends what you want to do. By the time you've done 3 rounds of that, you're going to know it. So some people get a little cocky, push too fast and too hard and say, oh, I need it harder, add weight or whatever. But if you want to make 5 circuits like that, 5 mini circuits on a 1-minute rest period, it's better to start with 10 reps. Once you can do 5 circuits of 10, you can always add more reps, and you can decide whether you want to do it for strength training, and if you do, then add weight. You can do it for strength endurance and take it up into the 20 rep zone. There's a lot of ways to play with it. So I'll take you through a circuit. Now that you know how to do it and what we're doing, let's do it together. Okay? So you can get your comfortable I can poop in the woods position. Make sure you can comfortably squat below parallel. We're going to go up to parallel, down, up to toes. That's 1. All the way down, up, down. That's 2. All the way down below, up to parallel, down, up. That's 3. Yeah, baby. Oh, to the toes. And then we'll do drop and recover. To do this exercise, you should use a ball that's the right size for you. If it's the right size and you're sitting on it, your thighs should be from the hip bone to the center of your knee joint approximately parallel. A tiny bit higher is okay, but if you go lower, it just makes the exercise harder. But that's how you size a Swiss ball for exercise. Thighs should be parallel or slightly above. If it's dropping down like this, it means the ball's too small. Go to a bigger ball. So we're going to roll down, roll to the side, get it in our armpit, drop, recover. 2, 3. Oh, that's waking me up. Okay, rock climbers. We'll jump up. One, 2, 3. Good. Swiss ball lunge. Knee on the ground. Front leg up. Find the balance spot on the ball. Come up. One, you got to get your ball in the right foot in the right spot. 3. Switch legs. It's good to have the circle on the ball. If you put your toes in the middle of the ball, it's generally where it needs to be, because if your foot's too far off to one side, it tries to roll away on you. 10, Bruce Lee, here we go, baby. You thought he was dead, he's not. Okay, so we get on the ground, get a nice relaxed, saggy arch, and we're gonna reverse it. Pike. 1. Yeah. Now, after you work your abs, like that. Anytime you work your abs, it's a good idea to stretch them over the bowl. You don't want your abs getting short. It'll pull your chest down. Head forward, load your neck up. Eventually give you poor posture and all sorts of unwanted little surprises over time. So I just roll back, get a nice opening. Well, I got to stretch on, take a deep belly breath. Help stretch the abs. Yeah. That's one of my little mini circuits. Bodyweight, very good, great conditioning. There's lots of things you can do with your body. You don't need a bunch of fancy equipment. I'm about to head out for a vacation. Taking a little motorhome journey. Take a Swiss ball, club bell or two, a couple kettlebells, a mat. Go out and find some stones in the woods. Lift stones, find beaches, lift stones. Be creative. Don't do the same thing all the time. Have fun. When fitness is fun, fitness is regular. When fitness is fun and regular, you're healthier. And when you're having fun regularly and staying fit, you don't fall into the trap of not having vitality, and you're fit enough to keep your mind working well, so you make intelligent decisions. Right now, it's a good time to make some intelligent decisions in the world. Lots of love. Thanks for joining me. Oh, great spirit.